Welcome students. Myself Kavita Kobanne from Gokle Education Society's HN High School is going to present the Standard 9 Science 2 Energy Flow and Ecosystem second part of this video. Before we start the energy flow and ecosystems second part, we will just recall the things what we have learned before. We have learned the energy pyramid and the energy flow is unidirectional in the first part of this video. Now in the second part of this video, we are going to learn the different biogeochemical cycles. Carbon cycle, oxygen cycle and nitrogen cycle. These are the nutrients which is going to get continually moving in the atmosphere of Earth. How they are just continued, that we are going to learn in this chapter. This is the picture of biogeochemical cycle. Now biogeochemical cycle means what? In this cycle, the nutrients are just transferred from one form to the other one, and that is in a cyclic manner. Now in the previous one we have learned the energy flow. It is linear. It is in one way over. But in this, the nutrients are flowing. So from the sun, the plants are getting the energy, chemical energy, they are producing the energy, and this is just taken consumed by the consumers. So the nutrients are transferred from the producers to the consumers. Then these consumers are just died. So when they die, then the decomposers are getting the nutrients. So sometimes the producers are just consumed by the decomposers directly. So they are getting the nutrients from the plants. So both the way the nutrients is transferred, it is just going on. And again from the decomposers, that nutrients are just given back into the atmosphere again. So that the nutrients are maybe anything, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, all these things. So these are again transferred back into the atmosphere, and then from the atmosphere again the producers, means the plants, are using it over there. So here the energy flow is going on in a cyclic way. So the cyclic path in which the nutrients are transferred through air, water or soil into the bodies of the living organisms. Means from the air, the producers are getting carbon dioxide, they are giving out oxygen. Then from the water, they are getting the minerals. So that is the inorganic substance, that is the nutrients it is. So they are consumed by them. Then it is just producing the energy that is transferred to the consumers. So consumers are getting this energy. From the consumers, that when they die, then the decomposers use this energy. Some of the energy, some of the nutrients, they use it, and remaining one you just give it in the atmosphere again. So this is the cyclic path. This is the cyclic transfer of the nutrients from the one body to the other, and again in the atmosphere or in the air, in the water. That is called as a biogeochemical cycle. This transfer of nutrients is going in the atmosphere, in the lithosphere and in the hydrosphere, which the biosphere is made up of. So the recycling of all this biological and geological and chemical sources of nutrients in this process is a complex one, and it depends on the level of energy transfer in the ecosystem. There are two types of biochemical cycles. One is the gaseous one and the other one is the sedimentary cycle. Now in the gaseous cycle, you will see an accumulation of the main abiotic gaseous nutrients materials is found in the Earth's atmosphere, and which includes the nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, etc. So all this material where they get accumulated and their circulation is included in the gaseous cycle. That is a abiotic component. Okay. Now the next one is the sedimentary cycle. That is an accumulation of the main abiotic nutrient material is found in soil sediments and sedimentary rocks, etc. of the earth. And it includes the soil components like the iron, calcium, phosphorus, etc. So the deposition where it is taking place, accordingly the cycles are named. That is the gaseous one and the sedimentary cycle. The gaseous cycle is speedier than the sedimentary cycle. Why? See here, it is given that if the carbon dioxide is accumulated in an area, okay, so that can be disposed. That means it can be spread up with the help of the wind or can be absorbed by the plants. So easily they can be just keep on going over there. So that's why it is a speedier cycle. Now, what things are going to affect the cycles? That is the climatic change, human activities. They will be seriously affecting the speed, intensity, and the equilibrium of the cycle. Equilibrium means the balance of the cycles. So they all human activities, and it will affect human activities and climate. They will affect the speed and the intensity of the cycles. The fourth cycle we are going to learn is the carbon cycle. The circulation and recycling of carbon from the atmosphere to the living organisms and after their death back to the atmosphere is called as a carbon cycle. Here the circulation means in a cyclic way the carbon is moving here in the nature. Now the main two processes take place in this cyclic process. The main thing, first one is the photosynthesis done by the plants. This is the one process which is important in carbon cycle, and the other process is the respiration done by the animals. These two processes are just taking place alternately, and the carbon cycle is continued in the nature. We will start from the photosynthesis. The plants, they are using the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere for the photosynthesis processes. Organic, from the decay of the organisms, from there also they are getting some carbonic compounds, from there also they are getting the carbon. They are utilizing it and producing the food. This food is just consumed by the animals, and these animals are, they are getting the supply of the carbon from the plants to the animals. Then these animals are consumed by the next animals over there. Here you have learned the energy pyramid in the previous chapter. In that we have learned the different levels of different trophic levels. In that the energy is transferred. So here the animals are consumed by the next level. Here last one, whatever it is there, the apex animals, they die, and the dead organisms and the waste products, they give out the carbon compounds or the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is given out in the atmosphere. Carbon compounds are just given in the soil, and this becomes the fossil and the fossil fuels. Animals do the respiration. When they are doing the respiration, that time they are just using the oxygen produced by the plants. Means from the photosynthesis, the product is given as oxygen. That oxygen is used by the animals, and after the respiration, the animals give out the carbon dioxide directly into the atmosphere. This atmosphere again, it is used by the plants. So here the chain goes like this. Then the the animals, they die. After the death, the dead organisms and the waste products, they are just getting converted into fossil fuels. It take long time for converting it into fossil fuels, and this fossil fuel also contains the carbon. This fossils or the rotten substances or the simple carbon, they can be used by the plant for the growth also. From like this the carbon cycle goes over. Now here not only the animals or the living things are the supplier of the carbon dioxide. The supplier of the carbon dioxide are the factories also. The factories are giving out the emissions. Okay, they are giving out the smoke. That smoke consists of the carbon dioxide. So that carbon dioxide is supplied through these factories also, through the burning of the chemicals there. Even the plants also give the carbon dioxide. During the night time, you have learned that daytime they are doing the photosynthesis, but during the night time the plants are just doing the respiration. Means they are taking the oxygen and giving out the carbon dioxide. So living things including men, human beings or animals, they all just give out the carbon dioxide. Plants during the night, they give out the carbon dioxide, and the factories, there's those burning or the burning substance, we can say all burning substance give out the emissions, and that emission consists of the carbon dioxide. So these are the supplier of the carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, and this is only the one thing which is just producing the oxygen from this carbon dioxide. So photosynthesis and respiration process, they are alternately one after the each other take place. That's why the carbon cycle is moving on smoothly. If any of the things increases, if carbon dioxide increases and plants number decreases, then the balance of this carbon dioxide cycle will be disturbed, and then it will affect the health. Here are the two main processes in the carbon cycle, that is the photosynthesis and the respiration process. In photosynthesis, plants are taking the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and the water from the nature, from the soil. They are getting it in presence of the sunlight and chlorophyll. They are making the cellulose plus water vapor, and the oxygen gas is liberated out, it is given out. So this is the chemical formula or the chemical reaction. In this way, in the chemical equation, we can show the photosynthesis process. Same way we can show in the chemical equation form the respiration process. In the respiration process, I told you that oxygen is used by the animals for the breakdown of the starch food. So here this is the glucose, okay. Carbohydrate, that is just use the carbon oxygen from the nature, which is given by the plants. This oxygen is used up by the animal cells in the presence of mitochondria. This process takes place and it gives out the carbon dioxide gas plus water vapor in the form of sweat, we can say, okay, and the energy to our body for working out. So like these two processes are included in the carbon cycle. Oxygen cycle, it is very important for us. It is in a simple way we have to understand this. It is actually a complicated cycle. Oxygen, we know it is 21% of the total air. 78% is nitrogen and 21% is present in the atmosphere, and that 21% oxygen is enough for the life on the earth. Now how this oxygen travels in a cyclic way, that we have to see in this diagram. In front of you, the figure of oxygen cycle is given. Now the oxygen is produced by the plants. The plants, they are just doing the photosynthesis in presence of the chlorophyll. They take the sunlight, chemicals from or the nutrients from the soil and the water, then the photosynthesis process. Because of that photosynthesis process, they create the oxygen, and this oxygen is given into the atmosphere. Now from the atmosphere, the living organisms, they are using this oxygen. Not only the animals, but we also, means we are also considered as a animals only. So here the human beings and the animals both are using the oxygen for the survival. Now this oxygen means not only for survival, means it is just breaking down the sugar molecules. Whatever the starch or the food you are taking it in the body, they are in the form of complex. We have to convert into simple. For converting that carbohydrates into glucose, that oxygen is required. So this oxygen used by the animals for the conversion to make the food simple one, so that the body can use it for the growth. After the consumption of the oxygen or after that metabolism, they give out the carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide again goes into the atmosphere, and from the atmosphere again it is used up by the plants for the photosynthesis process. This is not only the one way where the oxygen is moving here. This oxygen is used up by the substances for burning purpose also. That is called as a combustion. So for respiration, which we do, means animals do, the respiration for that purpose also oxygen is important, and oxygen is important for the combustion, that is burning process. Anything which is burning, they require the oxygen for that. Oxygen is not only present in the air, it is present in the water also. The oxygen is present in the molecular form. Molecular form means it is combined with something. Oxygen itself, it is in the form of O2. O2 means two atoms of oxygen combined together and makes the molecule, that is O2. So there it is there. It is present in the water. The water's formula is H2O. It is a compound. So again it is attached with the hydrogen and in a fixed proportion. So the oxygen is present in H2O. Then when the substances burn out, they give out the carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide also consists, the formula of carbon dioxide is CO2. So in CO2 also oxygen is there. In oxygen, there also oxygen is there. And the water, H2O, there also the oxygen is present. Here the another figure of the oxygen cycle, we can understand it better here. Here the atmospheric oxygen is present in the atmosphere. It is used up by the combustion process. Means in the combustion process, for burning of the things, this oxygen is used. After the burning, they produce the carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is given to the plants, and the plants by the process of photosynthesis, they are producing the oxygen again. So here the oxygen is created, and again it is given back into the atmosphere. So this way also the cycle goes. And here in the living organisms, that is, they are doing the cellular respiration. Just I told, the carbohydrate has to be converted into simple one, so that time the oxygen is required. So in the cell, the respiration, cellular respiration takes place. It gives out afterwards, the product given by it is the carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is again used by the plants, and again the cycle goes on. So here also one of the figure which shows the oxygen cycle. Oxygen cycle, oxygen is important for the synthesis of the food particles of your body, that is proteins, carbohydrates and fats. And it is also used for the various chemical reactions. Along with that, ozone is produced from the oxygen through various atmospheric processes. And this ozone layer, you know that it is just protecting us from the UV rays, that is the ultraviolet rays. Those are very harmful, and if more and more harmful rays come on the earth, then the global warming will increase. Nitrogen cycle, that is the most important cycle in our nature. You have learned that the nitrogen is present in the nature in abundant form. Abundant means it is in maximum quantity. According to the percentage, we saw that the nitrogen in the atmosphere is near about 78%. 21% is oxygen, and remaining one is the other gases, which include the carbon dioxide, water vapor, dust, other many gases in that over there. Now this nitrogen which is available in the nature, it is not at all directly be used by the plants, but it is very very important in our body functioning, or we can say metabolism. मीन्स अपनी बॉडी के मेटाबॉलिज्म के लिए ये नाइट्रोजन बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, बट वी कांट टेक इट डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द नेचर. नेचर से एज इट इज़ हम उसे नहीं ले सकते. सो उसका कन्वर्जन होना ज़रूरी है, एंड व्हेन इट गेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू अदर फॉर्म्स, then only we can use it for our metabolism process or the functioning of our body. Now you have saw the packets of the chips also. The chips packets are fluffy one, means filled with the gas something over there. Now you have learned that the oxidation process sometimes just rotten the food. ऑक्सीडेशन की वजह से हमारा खाना कभी कभी सड़ जाता है. Okay, to preserve it, for that purpose the nitrogen gas is added in these packets. ये जो पैकेट्स आप लेके आते हैं उसमें नाइट्रोजन गैस भरी जाती है, जिसके वजह से खाना ड्राई रहता है और इट कैन बी प्रोलॉन्ग्ड फॉर eating purpose. Means you can preserve it for a long time. Okay, now we will see here the nitrogen cycle which is abundant in the nature. As given in the figure, the nitrogen cycle consists of 4 steps. The first one is the nitrification here, then the nitrogen fixation that comes in that only. Okay, here the nitrification it is, then denitrification here it is. So like this, the 4 steps. We will start with the first step, that is the nitrification of the nitrogen it is there. Now the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere, it is just in the form of molecule, that is in N2 form. 2 nitrogen elements are combined with the 3 means triple bonds, and we get the nitrogen in the atmosphere. Now this nitrogen directly can't be used, it has to be broken up. Now this breaking of this nitrogen is done by the lightning process. जब बिजली चमकती है तब ये नाइट्रोजन मॉलिक्यूल जो है ये 2 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड हो जाता है, N N and N, and then only it can be used. Now then when it is broken down by the lightning and then water is added in that, it get converted into the acids. Okay, that acids are just used up by the soil. It is go in the soil, and then in the soil this nitrogen fixation bacteria are there. Means nitrogen fixation bacteria, it comes the Azotobacter, Clostridium, blue-green algae, that is Nostoc and Anabaena. They are also performing the nitrogen fixation in the soil. These bacteria, they make the nitrate and nitrates, and these nitrates and nitrites are used up by the plants for making the proteins and nitrogenous compounds, and these compounds and these proteins are just eaten up or the consumed by the herbivorous animals and even we also. Then this protein just go in the body, then oxidation take place, it get converted into amino acid during the metabolism, and then this is just used in the body for the proper functioning. Along with the nitrogen fixation, there are some other three processes are there. That is the ammonification in this. It means the release of the ammonia through the decomposition of the dead bodies and the excretory waste of the organisms in the atmosphere again. That process is called as a ammonification. In this picture, you can see the cow is giving out the dung and that is given the ammonia back to the atmosphere. Next one is the nitrification. That is the conversion of this ammonia into the nitrite and the nitrate. That is NO2 and NO3 with the help of the nitrifying bacteria. And after that, the next and the last process is the denitrification. That is the conversion of the nitrogen compound into the nitrogenous gas again, which is given back into the atmosphere. This much complicated cycle will not be asked in the exam. For your knowledge purpose, it is given in the textbook. You should know only the four processes are included in the nitrogen cycle. That is the nitrogen fixation, ammonification, nitrification and denitrification. They are correlated and how it goes step by step. For your understanding, it is given in this chapter. Hope you all have understood these three different cycles and you must have understood that this balance is very necessary. They are interdependent on each other. For maintaining the balance, we have to do the deep study of all these cycles further. All the deep knowledge you will get it in the next further standards over there. Till now, this much is there in your syllabus. Hope you all have understood this. Now it's assignment time. You have to read the lesson very carefully, understand it, and you have to solve the exercises in your notebook. Till then, goodbye. Stay home, stay safe, and take care of your health.